is Femi Ayeshiro, and we started with this tutorial, and then this is the part of the tutorial. So this is the final tutorial. There's an over effect, and then we're able to delete, we're able to create, we're able to use a basic crud application, and then is a tech profile application. So yeah, so this is okay. So I can edit this guy, call it Joshua. See, calling people different names. Go lang, I can edit, and I can delete as well. So this is what we want to do as our final project. Okay, and then this is where we are now presently. So yeah, so without wasting time, we are going to finish up the project. So the two goal is to finish up the project and then also to do a bit kind of refactoring of our code. So I want to break down some of the things we have here. So we have every code written here on this page. So we want to break it down into components. So without wasting time, so let's get right into it. And please don't forget to like, to share, to subscribe. And then if you have anything, you can put in the comment section for me. So yeah, let's get it. So the first thing I would like to do here is to create a folder calling it components. Create a component. So here is where we have our components. So I'm going to create 3 components now. So the first component is, I'm going to call it profile form .tsx. We have RFC, so shortcuts, surface like this. So all you need to do to have that extension is to go to your React and then search for React here. I think, yeah, this is it. ES7. So once you have this, then you'll be able to do that. Okay, let's get back to let's get back to this file. Folder view. All right, so these are form, and then so what I want to do is to cut out the form. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take this. So I'm going to go into our app.js. Let's take out the form. Let's take out the form. So let me collapse this. Here's our form. Okay, so this is our form. So I'm just going to cut this away. Let's take this completely and then come to our form. So we're going to bring it in here. This is our form. Okay, so we are going to do a lot of adjustments on this page. So the first thing we want to do, and also I'm creating another component. Here I'm going to have my input form. So I'm going to call it input form, breaking the form into component as well. Input form. So we're going to do RFC like this. We're going to have an input form. So what we want to do here is to we're going to take out this. Let's take out this guy here, for instance. So I'll just copy. Okay, let me cut this guy and then put it here. So React is component-based framework or library. So because when you have your work structured properly, it allows for readability and then usability of those components. So those components can be reused in other pages, in other applications. So that's why it's good to make sure that your work is properly structured, and whoever wants to read through your code can easily understand your code, not just to have everything modeled up in a single uh, component. So, right, without wasting time, so we are still here. So, what we want to do is to, so we have a div, we have our nav bar, we have our form here. So, we're going to have a couple of props, okay, properties. So, I call it name, type, values. We're going to have handle change. We're going to have the label tests. Label tests. Okay, so what we're going to do here is to call this one, we're going to have a name here. So let's have a label test here, label test here for name. Okay, so what we want to do here is to, we're going to set our type there, and then our name as well. Value should be value, and then this is, so we're going to have our handle change. So the values we have in here, we are passing them as props so that we can set it right in our input in our profile form. So I cut that first one off. So let's bring it back. Input form. Expect a suggestion like this. So we have our input form. Then inside our input form, uh, we want to, we need the name, which is what name. We need the type, which is going to be what tests. We need the what the value, which is going to be name. So this is supposed to come from our state. Then handle change as well. So going to have handle change as well. So and then the label test. So the label test should be name. Now why are we having this? We have a name, name. Okay, so now what we have here is, because we are going to have our state for the feeds, for the input feed in our app.js. So we are going to have it in our app, in our router. So this is where we are going to declare the state. So eventually what we are going to do is to, we are going to have to pass so many of these things as from our state, like the value and the change state. So the value for our state and the handle change is going to come from this app.js. We are going to be seeing it shortly, but let's finish this and let's go. I'm just going to comment this and then let's do this. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to our phone. We have a phone. We have tell, this should be phone, and then this should be the label test number. So going to bring this one down again. So what we are doing now is component now, making it reusable now. So I'm just going to take this guy out like this, and then the one we have left is this. So this is going to be email. email. This is going to be email. Check something. So let me check something. All right. Email. We have our email, and then let's check here and let's see email. So this one is going to be email as well. So let's take this guy out like this. So the next thing we want to do is to so it's going to be for the picture. So we're going to have profile pics. This one is going to be tests. Profile profile. Going to be small letter profile pics and the change, and then this one is going to be picture. So yeah, we are going to leave the test area like that. You're not doing anything with the test area. For the test area, we're going to leave it like that. And what we'll do for the test area is to the value. Um, so this one is just going to be handle test, handle change. All right. So I think we are good. We are okay for now. Change this to 400, and then yeah. So we are going to go into the app.js now. So inside our app.js, we're going to bring back our form now. Let's import our form. Profile form. This is what we're going to have. Okay. So on this page, we're going to have a lot of stuff. So the things we have here, rather than having this like this, we can have them as an object. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to do also log value. We're going to have them as value set value equals to use state. We are setting them as subjects now, like this. So we are going to have name equals to empty object. We're going to have phone equals to empty object. We're going to have email equals to empty object. Empty profile equals to empty like this. We have our about equals to this as well. Rather than creating individual state like this, we can just take this out like this. Okay, we can take this out like this, and so for our we are going to create for our undo change, create something like this. The function all the events. So we're going to do set value. It's going to be an object here as well. we are going to spread the values that we have, and we are going to have, so what I want to do now is what we call the dynamic, we have a dynamic key assigned to a dynamic value. You understand? So you have e dot target dot name is dynamic, you know, uh, and then you have e dot target dot value. Don't, so this is what we are going to have. Okay. I think this guy did something on that. Just quickly gonna check. Oh, so it's okay. We need to come back to the site. Okay, so you're going to have a dynamic now. Okay, so the name, e dot target name, e dot target the value. So each of the input field has a name. Okay, so that's what we are targeting. So the name and then to their specific values and like that. Okay, I think that is really all that we need. So in our profile form now, what we are going to do is to pass them as props. We are going to have undo submit. Don't forget that we have moved our form from here. Undo submit is going to be undo submit. So we can call it any name. I choose to send it to the same name because our form submission function has to be on this page. Okay, so because it has to be here because some of the data we need, the other component for the which we are going to create shortly is going to need those data. So it's better we put it in the component that is above the two components that we are creating. So it's better we put it in the root component, which is the app component. So what we want to do now is to pass them as the things that we need here. Edit records. So don't forget that the edit record is what we are going to need for the button, for our submit button, for the edit and submit. So edit records. We check here. We check here. So we need it to pass it as a prop. And app.js. So what else do we need? We need undo change as undo change. Then we are going to pass our name now. That's supposed to put these guys in the variable, but we can do value dot name, then email is going to be value. This is how you access object. The name of the object dot the key dot email. So we are accessing the individual uh items inputs that we set inside our object here. So that's what we are simply doing here. And then we have phone number dot phone, and we have profile is value dot profile is, and then we have the bar photo value dot bio like this. Okay, so we have so many things we are passing here. So let's go back to our form. So inside our form profile form now, so we're going to have, let's destructure what we have. So we're going to have undo submit, undo change. We're going to have a name, email, profile, file, edit records. So these are the things that we are going to need. Okay, I think we are good now. So I'm going to create another component. So yeah, so what we are going to do is our map is going to be inside another separate component. So we're going to create another component here. We're going to call it profile list.js. So the profile list is going to take so the profile list, let me just take this out. The profile list is, let's come into our app.js. So let's take so we're going to take everything here, cut it off. These are our root app, and we are not supposed to put so much things here. In fact, most of the time, what you have in your app.js should be your router, okay, where you do your routing, okay, and then even if you have to put things here, they should just be components that you are putting here, not to put so much, you know, details. Why not just create a separate component where you put those information there? So we're going to have it here like this. Okay, so this is our profile, and here we are going to have a couple of stuffs, but let's bring it back here, bringing it back to our, so yeah, profile lists. So this is what we have. Okay, so and for this to work, since we want to kind of, we are mapping through, then we need the records here. So we need the record sets here. So I'm going to pass this guys as a prop. So we are going to do records is equals to records, and then we are going to have on delete, which is equal to undo delete, undo delete. Don't forget that on delete is the name we are calling it. We are this is undo delete. Okay, because the button is inside the map. So the button is inside here. Don't forget that this is it here. Okay, so and what else? We are okay. Our undo edit as well. On edit is going to be undo edits as well. So what we're going to do is let's come here and then the structure. Let's bring them here. So we have our records on delete, on edit, on delete, on edit. Uh, on delete now is going to, we are going to be calling on delete here. So let's do on edit, on delete. So I think we are pretty done here. Let's check our app. But still a lot of things to fix here. Okay, so what else? What else? What else? So let's go back to our app.js. So we need to take out this guys here and then do the needful. So but let's clean up some things here. Okay, so let's go back to do some of the necessary cleanups here. So okay, so here what we want to do now is we don't have to be calling them one after the other now. So we can do set value. It's going to be like this, set value. So what we are doing here is that once the name, all of them, they are okay. So what we want to do now is, so what we did initially is the payload, like, okay, fine. We want to get the value from the input field, and that's why we have the name. we have the name on the input field, the name attribute. Now we have the names given to each of the input field. Now, so what we are saying in the input field is that fine, ID equals to ID. We know that the name equals to name. The name now that we are saying, okay, name the key. The value is the state. Okay, so what we have to do is to do value dot name. Okay, so now we are making say, okay, the name that the name for the input field equals to the value from our state. Okay, so the same thing here, we're going to have value dot email, value dot phone, value dot profile. We're going to have value dot val like this. So what we're going to do is that after the record has been added, so what we're doing is that if these things are check out, so the same thing here. So we are going to do if value dot name is 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 not empty string, this one value dot, so since it's an object now, this one we are going to have dot phone, value dot email, value dot profile, value dot val. Okay, so then we've setting it here. So what we want to do is, so after the form has been captured, we want to do is to make sure that we set it back to, we clear the feed. So we are clearing the feed now so that email empty string again after the form has been submitted, empty string again, and then profile is empty string again, and then val empty string again, like this. So this is what we want to do. And and for the payload, done that for the payload, and let's, okay, so the same thing. So everything we've done here now, we're going to take it, and then it's, once you are done with whatever you want to do with the input feed, we want we want the state to set the feed to empty. We want the input feed to be empty. We don't, so we are still going to take this out as well. So I'm going to, maybe after this I'll explain this, and then going to be doing some stuff here. So this one is, then this one is going to be setting to the new state now, value. Oh, so it's going to be an object. So what we have is the name equals to value dot name. Okay. So I think we should be able to test this out first. So dot phone. Then we have value dot email as well. We have value dot profile is value dot val. So I think we are good now, and let's check what we have. Okay, let's check our console and see what we are missing here. Okay, the above error occurred. Phone is not defined. Our phone is not defined, so let's go and check profile. Profile phone. We have our phone. Oh, go back to our app.js. Phone. Phone. Okay, so let's take out these other guys as well. So undo edit. So let's take out these guys as well. So we're gonna have set value. What we want to do is to set it to the data we are getting after we click edit. Is going to give us some data of that particular ID. Okay, so that's what we want to set. So we are saying name equals to edit. The edit record already has its dot name. This one is going to be email. Going to find those errors I'm getting. Phone number. This one should be phone number. This should be profile. Profile. This one should be bow. This one is bow. Right. Okay, so so let's check. I'm just going to start my development server afresh now. 74. So let's refresh. Wow. Phone is not defined. Phone is not defined. Phone is not defined. Okay. So let's check our phone and see where the problem is coming from. So we have, can you see now? I don't have my phone here. Phone is not here. Okay. So we have our setup editing now. It's working properly now. Let's add Shola here. We submit. The profile is not working. So let's go and see why the profile is not working. Profile page. Profile page. Our app.js. Profile page. Can you see that? This is why it's not working. Profile. Have our profile page like this. Let's get back and refresh. So by the time we edit, so let's do Shola here. So by the time we submit, you see everything is working fine now. So our focus now is going to be on so let's touch on the design a little bit and then we finish up on this. So for the design, we are going to have so I'm going to wrap this one in another div. So let me wrap this guy in another div here. I'm going to have another div, and inside that div I'm going to have each one. Then I'm going to have, let me cut this guy here. Let's have class name here. Then I'm taking this guy, take this guy here. Just give it a margin of 20. That's what is responsible for this distance. Margin of 20 mx octo. So let me take this guy here. So for the each one is going to be profile profile so tech profile application. Tech profile application and uh, so I'll give it a class name here. EG blue 50. I want the text going to be 500. I want the font size semi bold. I want the text to be a bit like 3 XL to margin bottom of 4. Let's see what we have. This is what we have. Take out this guy. So this is what we have. And so for the form, as for the form, let's pick on that form. For the form profile. So can we get to the form now? Form. So I'm going to put a class here. So let's give it basis. We already have a class here already. BG. We get this color star 87 060 E6. Let me check our form now. This is what we have. And I'm going to remove all this outline from the. So let's go to our inputs, outline, none. So then on the form as well, on the text area, we're going to come to here and have outline, none at all. Are you not showing here? Wow. Don't expect to see this. Oh, yeah, I have a border on it. So I'm going to take out this border. I don't need it. I don't need this border. I think we are good now. We don't need this border. Okay, let's go to the inputs. Let's take out the border. We don't need the border. Yes, this is what I want. And okay, so we need to work on this as well. So let's come to the profile lists. As for the profile lists, we need to get a color. This is going to be here. BG blue 50. Again to get over border 2. You have a border color as well. Border blue 500. And then we're going to get rounded large. Rounded large. So yeah. So we saved. So this is what we have now. So then these two guys, we're going to work on them. We're going to give the border to be 1 pixel. 700 M2 border. I want this text to be small. XML. I think that is all. 700. 1 pixel. Text to be small. Then we have 100 LG. 100 LG. So PX 4, and let's see what we have. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to edit this guy. Manual. Let me take this into front end engineer. By the time I edit, you can see our stuff is working. We can over, and then I'm going to take any phone number. Senior engineer and posts. Okay, so see this man here. Touch on. Submit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to copy the image and let's come here. So I'm going to edit, take out the image, put this one and submit. So I have it changed. So I can edit the name Okay, engineer. So we can edit. So that's the beauty of it. I think we need a little bit of spacing between this guy and the guy here. So and yeah, we need a little bit of spacing there. So and to we need gap to be here. We need the gap to be there. Yes. Gap of 16 pixel. Can make it 20. This is 64. A bit of spacing and then let me find one more person here and let's go to Twitter. So I want to add a bit of padding, form input, gonna put padding x2. Here we're gonna have padding x2 as well. So I want to make sure that when I'm typing here, let's get home and see somebody here. Oh, wow, this is taking time to load. So I'm going to use this man here. Okay, so I think I can use Fela Himano. So this is taking time. I'm going to take this man, let's copy. So I'm going to edit. So that we can keep adding and adding and adding and adding. So edit, we can change the name to Danny, something like this. And save. So here we go. And yeah, we are done with our project, even though, and I don't think it's really that responsive. But the goal is to like I said from the beginning, the goal is to create read is a crud application to help you understand the basis of React. And yeah, so you can take the project further. I'm going to provide the link to the GitHub uh, repo for the code. You can go through it and then you can yeah, so you can go through it and add it more. Probably you can build a backend to this, save your data in the backend, or probably use Firebase or use JSON web server. So you can play around with it and do whatever you want to do with it. So yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share with your friends. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you. All right. Bye.